Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of EV Side. My name's Simon. This week is just I suppose a short review of the BMW i3s, which is the 2018-2019 model. Myself and Dean Snelling, chap from Twitter, who we met up for the first time in Milton Keynes at the EV Centre. We took the car out for a test drive, and this is, I suppose, a collection of my thoughts and Dean's thoughts while we were driving, and also just a little bit of pre-review about the car. So for a more in-depth video or review, it'll be, if you look at the 2017 model review that I've done, it's quite similar in most respects. So for the majority of the review, I would suggest go have a look at that video and check that out if you haven't already done so. I'll put a link here as well. But initial thoughts on the i3s was pretty impressive for the most part, I would say. So let's start with the increased battery. So the increased battery only adds maybe 20 or 30 miles, so it's not a massive increase at all. This time of year, obviously, you suffer from that being a lot lower just because of the temperatures and things, but it's not a huge increase. If you're going to buy it for an increased battery, I wouldn't bother. However, there is some really good points that myself and Dean, I think I can speak for him on this, that really liked. One was, thicker wheels and lower suspension had a massive effect on the way the car drove. We were taking it around Milton Keynes, not exactly going slow and going around some of the corners, and the car literally stuck to the road. Now, my 2017 i3, it's still very good, and I absolutely love the car, but with those wheels and that suspension, the car got around corners a hell of a lot easier and quicker, and it's stuck to the road. So grip wise and control wise, a lot better. The steering also was a lot heavier, which meant better control of the car. And I would say there's also a new sport mode, so you still have comfort and the other two in terms of the Eco and Eco Pro Plus, but you also have sport. Now sport seems to tighten everything up, and we were largely using sport as we were driving around, but sport had a lot more kick. I would say a little bit more kick off the start, so it's still just as quick as the 2017 i3, but certainly the top end, as you reached the post 40-50 mile limit, that really did fly. So they seem to have increased quite a bit in terms of the speed of the car. The only other thing really, I suppose, that we did notice as well is regen. Regen on the 2017, I have found personally that it's been quite aggressive, which is no bad thing. It's really good. The regen braking is really good. I found on the new one though that it was more gradual and it was more controlled regen. Still the same amount of regen that you probably would have got on the older model, but it seemed like it had a more control, bringing you to a stop. So there were some sort of key points that we found while driving. The only other thing really that's changed is the BMW sat nav and media display. They've revamped that in a new version of the iDrive. Looks really good. It just took a little while to get used to where things are, and now I presume that once I take my car in for a service that I may get that upgrade, but I don't know. Other than that, the car is pretty much identical. If you look around the car, it's got slightly bigger wheel arches, a slightly different front, just to make it a little bit more kind of, I suppose, sporty, and obviously the wheels. So the wheels have the bigger wheel arches, so obviously it does look a little bit different. It's not hugely different though. You still have the same doors, you still have the same shape of the car. A lot of the functionality, buttons, all that sort of stuff are all in the same place. So very much the car is similar to the 2017 model, but just with a few little more bells and whistles. If you were buying this for the first time, I would say it's absolutely worth buying. and it's definitely a one to go for, with all the slightly added battery range, a little bit quicker suspension, and the wheels. For me, if you're buying maybe a second-hand one like I did, it doesn't tick enough to upgrade from mine to that. I would have liked to have seen a 200 real mile range. I know people keep going for 300 and I need 300, I need 400 miles. 200 miles for me is absolutely fine. And I think if there was a 200 mile range in that sport car, that car would be perfect. It would absolutely be perfect. Maybe the only other thing is maybe up the charging from 50 kilowatt to 100, so it's a bit more future proof. But other than that, it's the same really nice BMW i3 car, just with some added bells and whistles. So anyway, I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to show you a little bit of video. Now, unfortunately, me and Dean did take this car out in the evening, so the footage is a bit dark. You should be able to hear me and Dean for some of our comments, so please stick around and watch that a little bit. Big shout out again has got to be to the EV Centre in Milton Keynes and Rachel, who took us out, so a really big thanks to them. Always nice bunch, always nice and accommodating for new cars. We booked it via Twitter essentially for 4 o'clock the very next day after they had all the i3s in. So again, very big shout out to them. So thanks very much. Anyway, enjoy the video, and I'll speak to you all soon.
I've seen this song so many times.
One thing I can feel, okay, I know we're only doing sort of like 30-ish, right, is compared to the i3 that I drove 6 months ago, I can control the throttle on this a lot easier. It's before I was using too much brake regen. I was like in the Leaf, I was basically just taking my foot off the throttle and letting it do its work, which of course on this means it's going to stop pretty quickly. But I can actually feel the difference between this and the previous model.
I feel like 0 to 30, it's not as there's not much difference to the other one. But when you get to like 40 to 60, I feel like there's a difference.
It's got a bit of extra top end.
Yeah. I think that's the main difference in the performance for me.
What's the light doing? Good?
Yeah, I've got a lot more set. Before in the last one that I drove, I just treated it like my Leaf. And
So is that like kind of more controlled regen than
I think
before?
it is. I think the throttle's just got that bit more feel to it.
It's got a little bit more kick. I mean, the normal i3's got a lot of initial kind of pull on it, but that seems to be a bit quicker. That is as well. The steering is definitely heavier.
Definitely.
Yeah. You can tell the grip on the wheels, but the grip is literally holding the road. Like whereas the like you were saying earlier, the i3 is quite skittish with the thin wheels.
Yeah.
It's great for extra range and stuff, but that. It'd be great if you could just have these and kind of just look like a monster truck with like white wheels on the side of it. And it's definitely more subtle. It's still just as good, but it's more subtle. It kind of gradually comes down, whereas I think the original i3 is quite yeah, definitely. You can definitely feel, if you if you were to pull away around here like this, like in mine,
It
that,
wouldn't be like that, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
that definitely holds.
It holds a lot better around the corners as well.
Yeah, that is. You can just feel the weight on the steering wheel.
Killed
Just killed the moment for everyone.
it. Yeah.
With your gas burning little horrible car. Yeah, so what do they put the range for this one?
They said 177. I think that's WLTP.
Yeah.
When some of them showed 160, some of them showed 120. So I literally think it's the weather, the outside temperature, which is really affecting it at the minute. I mean, as you can see, we've got 20 miles, so less than a quarter of battery, which doesn't really give us a whole load for a full battery. But I think it's because it's been on a previous test drive.
And that's the other thing as well, isn't it? The system remembers like how you've driven and you know the efficiencies and things like that, and then works out your best range out.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Oh yeah. Definitely, yeah. That has got some kick. I like that. Yeah.
The other one.
And literally, you can move the wheel like that.
The other one would be all over the place.
Yeah, you'd be over there at some point, but that is really tight steering.
Yeah.
So thanks very much for the video around the BMW i3s. Hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. There's lots of other stuff that you can watch or indeed inflict this on other people and make them watch it. Click the little bell to keep informed when I put a new video up. Yeah, please do like, subscribe and share. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all soon.